welcome back. Congratulations. You're just in time. Within your universe, within this planetary realm, your macrocosm, your country, within your state, your jurisdiction, within your hood, your residence, your room, and that URL to here and now. Because now is all there's ever been. The continuum within that never seems to end. Right to this beginning and a redefinition, a redirection in thinking from that one-dimensional, you're born, you pay taxes, and you die. Thanks, Grandpa.
Jeez. I've been asking this time. Grandma, is Grandpa gonna get a colostomy bag? And does that tube reach up to his mouth?
Tell you what, let's burn this where it sits and send it right back up the chain where it came from. It's your time, it's our time. Again, it's now. Welcome to Chasing Paradise. We've just been shot out of an information cannon. So as you're flying by here, take a second, click like and subscribe. We love that stuff. We're going to go right to the source, get right to the chase. It's very simple. It's the easiest way to open up, and it's going to make everything else a little bit easier, addressing 7 principles. And we're going to start with the following.
Content is for entertainment purpose. This channel and its affiliates not responsible for effects resulting from viewers' negative outcome. Its cue and formulates probability and sub as the mouth Nick Schnevel.
Cut. Subatomic level. That one sounded German. Take 48. The lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding. The Kabbalion. So, our principles of 7 start in your reality, your pathway, in your experience. It's not anything other when the lights are out. You can't feel the floor or your ass sitting in that chair. It's mentalism. That is our number 1. All of this is brought to you by someone that we've lost in the sands of time. Characterization. I don't think we've lost the name, though, of Hermes Trismegistus. Take a second there, let it go through your mind, and know this. You'll think it 100 times, and you'll F it up when it spits out of your lips. That's me. So, all is mind. Not your body. Nothing about genetics. Nothing about your health. That's health. Let's get you out of hell. We're going to pull you out of that cave because you were never in it. It's all what you manifest. When you come out of a hell, the first thing that you'll realize is that it was in your mind. And that'll be the first point of noticing in your environment change. Not everybody will, but it's there. So everything that happens is a result of a mental state in your field of probabilities. What you project out is simply given back to you. Your creator isn't all loving, but you're going to go hell unless you follow these 10 commandments. It never was not to sin. You were born of sin. So you can hit that reflective process back and forth to ascend as your direction of thinking starts to shift in the other direction. It's not what you think. It's how you think. And flip it. It's simple. Wake up one morning or get up out of this chair in 10 minutes. I'm going to take a minute and I'm not going to do an order. I'm going to do it in reverse. Hold that before you do it. Manifestation starts in the end, not out of the starting gate of progressive convergence that takes you 20 years down the road for you to, I think I'm here. Look around. Don't look around. Look within. It never made you happy. It never made anybody happy. Countless of representatives didn't get that elation. They got something, but they got a beat down in the process. It's not physical. All the physical work, falling down, getting back up, brushing yourself off, and saying to yourself and your friends, yeah, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. No. It's yes and no. Because that's what everything is. Everything is, yet everything isn't. The seventh principle is gender. It will divide. 2024. You don't have to talk about it, just think about it. There's always a community that has to overcome. How it overcomes is not hands across America, hands across the world, making a blog, getting on the video. It's getting out of your bed in the morning and starting to take care of you. Then you'll go out and realize, well, today doesn't seem so bad. And you realize that you didn't turn on the TV that morning. It's not your reality. This is your reality, your pathway, your literal pathway. That's your reality. That's the only reality there is. And all those moments of duration. So, mentalism, all is the mind. It's a mental state. It's simple. When you start, it'll hit you. You get back what you feed into. It's a mirrored process. Reflective process. Is it holographic? You're damn right it is. It's three-dimensional still shot setting, kind of, because everything vibrates. Principle number 3. So, you'll go back to it. If you're in education, advanced education, to a job, it's a large part of the gimmick. We used to daydream. I don't remember high school. I skated by. I knew how to skate by. That right there wasn't a learning experience. And it made sense. Middle school to high school, advanced algebra, I stopped there, got out of it, went to study hall. Guidance counselor, advanced algebra, which stop for? I don't need it now. I'll go back to it later. Took 30 years, but hey, I'm here now. I wouldn't have understood it. I was like, that's far enough. I'm not going to need it. I'll need it later. And sure enough, it was the first thing to hit. So, it is universal. I threw that word out because I said, there's multiples. And I got a shitload. Field of probabilities, and everything seems predetermined. Quantum physicists would agree. Good old particle behavior. It'll get complex. You're not supposed to catch it or get ahead of it. You'll never catch the wagging tail of the quantum dog. If we did, this shit would be boring. You don't catch that and represent a continuum at the same time, or we're not here. The principle of correspondence. Well, since I opened my mouth, that's all there has been, correspondence, from one to the next. Start in the end. And be careful how you apply that. Do some homework. It's out there. The starting gate is the best one because, believe it or not, you don't have to filter it. You can't fuck this up. So our principle of vibration, you can't see it move. I'll get into that later about how you can watch the physical in an abstract. Without focusing, nobody will believe it. And it takes concentration, it takes practice, and just enough synthetic photon process that's not hitting it to exist in a room. You can watch it wave. And I'll let you form your perception that your eyes are messing with you. So, the principle of correspondence to the principle of vibration. If you know the deep sciences, yeah. Everything is sitting in a vibrating field that are fields of infinite. The principle of polarity, everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has a pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same, opposites are identical in nature. What? But different in degrees. It all breaks down divisional when you divide that infinite line into a category to another, and then divide that and drop them down. You got a big old mess, but it looks like a triangle. Like the scheme. The actual evolution of our advancements require us to find what's going to agree with a mathematical formula. You find your mistakes through a process of deductive delineation to get to a formula that won't agree to agree. There's a paradox in there that's not identified. The smart ones, well, they're not educated in it, unless back in the 80s you were a part of that course. It's called something else now, and you don't really need to know it. If you're a nerd like me, ex-athlete, now a nerd, you'll become obsessed with it in your environment. The principle of rhythm, like a pendulum. It's all waves, like every 4 years for the presidential elections. What happens to the gas prices right before the election? They always drop. They come back up. You don't need to figure that out. But when it hits its highest, I ain't seen this in 5 years. Smile. And go back down. It'll go back down below $3 and come back up again. Sorry, California. It'll go back down from 9 to 7. So, everything flows, everything has its tides. That's right. I'm beachside. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swings manifest in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates and never does anything else but that. Everything that knocked you off that ladder, that had you making that statement, when everybody knew, it's simple. That's the pendulum. How do you avoid it? You let it go through you, and you don't think about it. And try not to pay attention to all the bad things when your friends aren't calling, but you'll see them 2 weeks later and hear all the stories. Don't look for that either. You can't avoid those stories and run into another version of them. Don't ask where they've been. Trust me, it'll pull you back into a field of probabilities when you start agreeing with the conversation. Stay away. Smile. They won't think about that. So, that rhythm leads us to cause and effect. That's simple. Our theoretical physicists try not to say anything too deep with the cause thing, but they do identify what is causality, which you can find out about that. Cause and effect is the easiest way to understand influence. In the end, there are aspects that agree with the following also, is that we cause nothing, but we get to experience an effect. Stare at a plant trying to grow, stare at your child trying to grow, sun gaze at 6 a.m. in the summertime, and try to find the sun moving. Give yourself 15, 20 minutes with that sun. Look away, walk away, go take a walk on the beach, come back to it, it's moved. You pass through a cycle. And they're little cycles within cycles because you can't see it move. The principles of 7, starting with 5. And 2 characters in the studio containment free. Bearded dragons like no other. Hyper and Ishi. Their habitat contains no tank, and their bed on another. Spoiled rotten. 3G appears to be radio remote control enthusiast. Upon further review, that says hyper on it. Ishi's new beach buggy. It's a hand-me-down, and the Kuntigra Polaris. It's yet to hit the beach, but somebody presented themselves at weigh-ins in the super heavyweight division. That thing will tip over. Merry Christmas, Hyper. And what do we got here? An empty log? It looks like this is where we start. I don't like that one. I don't like that principle. It's a pendulum. Why don't you put Ishi on there? Ishi getting hit by the pendulum. Everything blows. That pendulum's going to come down and hit you right in the gourd. Forget that. It's in cycles, too. It's going to come back. Self-polarization, my dragon butt. Can I say ass? I want the other one. Give me number 7. Who put the balls in the container here for the principle of gender? Then that's a direct reference. That's a bad idea. I don't want that one. It's what? I want cause and effect. Oh, how convenient. Number 6 to number 7. I didn't do that. I'm not that intelligent. Well, I mean, I am, but I didn't do it. I saw you. Yes, you did. Dennis, she's trying to get me to do it. I didn't want to. But you poop on logs. You got more things to worry about. And don't let me catch you in the Polaris. I'm watching you. Well, I'm watching the Smurfs, too. Well, Hyper, did you want to go over? You didn't want 5. Even though self-polarization and the mastery. You're not the master yet, are you? I don't feel like mastering today. Do I have to master? Fine. Why don't you take number 6 then? Cause and effect. Everything happens with the law, and there's no crap. Randomness doesn't exist, and chance is BS. Yeah, so says the Hyper. Nothing escapes the law, and it's a game. That's right. We're good at that. We like games. Like Ishi's games. I do believe I bore witness to that, and you got your beard chewed off at the same time. Isn't that right, Ishi? Well, she made me do it. I was under the influence. Uh-huh, that's right. Under the influence like the dog that's next door that eats his poop. Yeah, under the influence. Did you like the sign I made, Danny? I made that sign. I don't recall that, and that's not your handwriting. You wouldn't let me sign it. Don't show my dinosaurs. As we wrap this up, as within, so without. Is that my sanity? Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's your dignity. You told me. You drop it all the time.